The first time I remember being touched by a man was age 3. I remember telling my mom that I had this burning sensation when I would go to the bathroom. So my mother, she took me to the doctor, had me examined. I remember bright lights. I can't tell you detail from detail because that was when I was 3, right? But I remember the bright lights. I remember talking with the doctor. I remember um, being in an office with, I believe, a psychiatrist because she had like shapes and sizes and different things she wanted me to be able to like identify, I guess, to make sure that the story that I was telling my mom kind of added up to what may have happened to me. I literally still have scars from that incident. And then age 4, my mom had a male friend. He came over, spent the night with us one night. We were all in the bed together. We had a 1 bedroom apartment. We lived in the projects. I am not ashamed of that, because I believe everything happens for a reason. So anyway, we were all in the bed together. It was something that, we had a long day and everybody just kind of like lay down. I believe that if my mom knew what this guy was going to do to me, or if he did this to anybody else, that she wouldn't have allowed him to just lay in the bed with us. So I remember waking up to this grown man. He was licking and touching me between my legs. And at age 4, I remember that sensation, that the sensation felt good. I didn't say anything. I remember him looking up at me and putting his finger over his lip to tell me to not say anything. So I didn't say anything. My mother, she did wake up. When she woke up, she grabbed a machete. It sounds crazy, but she grabbed a machete. She kept a machete underneath her bed and she went to like swing it. And when she went to swing it, I think she nicked him above his eye, but then he was able to jump up. He ran out the door. We didn't have cell phones, we didn't have a house phone. So my mom had grabbed myself and grabbed my sister. We ran out the front door after him, but then I don't know where he ended up going. My mom and I, my mom, myself and my sister, we got into the car. My mom went to the nearest payphone to try to call the police. And then age 5, we moved in with some relatives, older female cousin, introduced me to pornography. So here it is. It's not just the homosexuality, but it's incest as well. And, you think that, oh, well, I'm just going to do this to her right now at age 5, and there be no consequences. There's no consequences to what it is that I'm doing. However, that's a lie, because everything that happened to us in our childhood, it comes back up in our adulthood, right? Also at age 5, I started getting high. I was getting high off of aerosol air freshener. This wild stuff, man, wild stuff. I was talking with someone the other day, and she was explaining that when someone has been sexually abused or whatever abuse they're going through, sometimes they turn to substances to try to escape what it is that they're going through. So I think that my 5-year-old self was trying to subconsciously escape what was happening to me from my cousin. But I was getting high, man. I was getting high from age 5 to age 11. So that's 6 years dealing with that type of addiction. Only a couple of years of her having sex with me, us watching pornography. Um, and then it was like countless others. Age 13, I met this guy. He was a friend of the family. And I was 13, he was 19. I was coming out of the 8th grade. Am I going too fast, Terrain? Okay. All right. So, age 13, he and I, we met. Um, I was 13, he was 19. I was coming out of the 8th grade. So it was like the summer in between 8th grade and 9th grade. He had already graduated high school and he was working. He was working at a bank, but still, he was a grown man. I was a child. So my mother found a letter that I had addressed to him. And when she looked through the letter, she seen that it was very sexually explicit because he would ask me to write him letters. He lived in a different state. So when he was visiting family, that's how we came together, right? We never had sex. It was just more so of him like fondling me and letting me know how much he wanted to be with me. Um, and when he went back home, when he returned to the state where he was living, That's when, and again, we were keeping contact with each other. I would sneak and call him. He would tell me, call me. He would say, write me letters, all these different things, right? And I thought that I had a boyfriend. I thought that we were in a relationship with each other. However, when my mom found the letter, my mom and my stepdad found the letter, they contacted him. He denied everything. He said that I was lying, that I was crazy, and that broke my heart. So, what I did was I decided, you know what, I'm going to find a boyfriend. So, when I entered the ninth grade, I had turned 14 in August. And I say, I'm going to find the most skimpiest outfit I can find, the type of outfit that your mom would be like, that's too tight on your butt, you need to take that off, put something else on. But my plan, my end goal was to get a boyfriend. So I remember sneaking out of the house. My dad, he worked the night shift. My mom, she always went to bed early. She 9 o'clock, she was out. So I snuck out first night, ran into these guys. I want to say there were probably one, two, three, four, five, probably 7 men. And that was my first actual sexual experience, like the penetration and stuff like that. Like I literally lost my virginity to strangers. And in that moment, I developed an addiction because I liked the attention. I felt like I had control over my body, at this time, because it was like all these random people, cousins and other close relatives wanted to touch on me and stuff like that. So this was a time when I felt like I had control, but I didn't have control.